Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, and the still as yet undefined existential Mr. Rogers that John Campea hung on me, Robert Meyer Burnett. But you know what? It isn't an open mic unless I don't have a nickname for him yet, but he is, I guess, what are you, producer Jonathan? That's your nickname.
Works for me.
I want you guys to come up with something like as good as Viceroy of Verisimilitude for Jonathan Boyko. We need a name for him that's not just producer Jonathan
or Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves is funny, but it's not a
No, we need something that defines you, and I throw that out to you, our viewers of the channel.
Come on.
That said, it is an open mic where we're here to talk about, well, what you guys want to talk about, because John took off to Vegas. Must be nice. Great work if you can get it. But I ask you, Jonathan, is there anything you want to talk about first, briefly, before we hear from our viewers?
I don't know. I don't feel like there was a lot of, I feel like we covered a lot of it in movie talk today. Whoops.
Uh-oh.
The John Campea Show today.
I think so. Well, there is a Man-A-Man.
There is a Man-A-Man.
Did you ever have a Man-A-Man figure?
No, I never had a Man-A-Man.
Part of the Return of the Jedi collection?
I didn't have too many of, the tier, would that be C or B? I had, the Rancor Keeper.
Yeah.
And he was just called the Rancor Keeper.
That's what he was called,
but
the Rancor
Keeper. I never
Keeper.
had him. You know what's funny? Of all the Star Wars, I had a lot of Star Wars toys. I never had a Stormtrooper. I never had just a straight-up Stormtrooper. I had the Scout Trooper, and I had a TIE Fighter pilot.
Great figure. Did you ever have an AT-AT pilot? Because that was dope.
So gray, and it has the helmet that comes down.
The white helmet.
Yes. And I had it later in life, not when I was a kid. I didn't get to have one, but later in life I had an AT-ST, the Scout Walker.
Yeah.
But I didn't ever.
That was cool with the button you pressed and it made the chicken legs.
Yeah. But I did own, as a kid, I did have the Millennium Falcon. I did have an X-Wing. I had a TIE Fighter. Oh, I had Luke's, in the original Star Wars. So that speeder he has on Tatooine with the he did go into Mos Eisley with it. That kind of orangey brown.
Yep.
I had that, and
that would be the land speeder.
Yeah, his land speeder, and then I think that was it as far as
T-65 or something.
Yeah, I think that was it as far as the vehicles.
All right, well, that's good. I guess that's enough toy talk for today. I had every single classic Star Wars figure except Yak Face. I did not have a Yak Face, and I did, by the way, have the early bird set. Anyway, on that note, let's go and hear.
I wasn't born yet for the early bird set.
Let's hear from our viewers. Who we got?
Well, first, I just want to show what Yak Face is for those at home wondering.
That is Yak Face. That's a later Yak Face, though. That was not the original Yak Face.
Is the original Yak Face?
That's the original Yak Face, bruh.
Less yak in the original Yak Face.
Yeah.
Oh, before we get into
the only Yak Face,
I don't want to lose it in the stream because it doesn't pop up in our thing. But thank you, Stevie Loves Horror and Sidhu for joining. Sidhu at the actor level and Stevie at the director level members. Thank you.
I was Yak Face at a few college parties, to be honest, yakking into the.
I definitely had a couple blackout moments where I literally was on. Someone shot me with a camera, and I was fine. Everyone was like, "Oh, you were hilarious," and whatever. We didn't even know you were drunk, but it's so weird. It's out of body. Where because you blacked out, so you're on camera, but you don't remember doing any of those things.
Man, I don't know. I'm so glad social media and cell phones with cameras didn't exist back in the day when I was in school, because
it's been a long time since I've been in that position. But
not good. Anyway, let's see what you guys have to say before we go too far off the rails. Patrick Hamilton says, will you be heading to the cinema this Friday to watch Violent Night, and how do you think it will do? Are you looking forward to it? I'm actually looking forward to it, but I've heard it's more Die Hard with Santa as opposed to a horror film. Taylor, you've seen it.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's not horror. A lot of people were saying it was horror, but it's to me, it's more an action comedy. It's really funny. Lots of action.
I think the poster lends itself to looking like a horror.
Yeah.
That's why the poster kind of gives that but I'm actually glad that it's more of a thriller.
Me too.
I mean, action thriller.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, the other part of the question was, how do we think it'll do? Rob, how do you think it's going to do this weekend?
I think it's going to do pretty well. I mean, there's not a lot of, obviously they've talked about how the adult fare was not clocking a lot of money at the box office, although that's why they're re-releasing Top Gun Maverick for 2 weeks. But I think people are going to go.
Incredible.
I think people are primed to see David Harbour as Santa.
People love David Harbour.
They do. Kicking some ass. I look forward to it. I'm going to see it.
I'm going to go see it again tomorrow night. It's going to be fun.
How long was it? Like an hour and a half?
Yeah, like an hour and a half, hour and 45 maybe.
Nice. Okay. The Everything Entertainment Network sends in a $19.99 super chat.
Wow, thank you.
Is that Everything Entertainment all at once? Watched Tar, and it had everything. Powerhouse performance by Kate Blanchett. Work drama, family drama, someone destroying their entire life and reputation drama. Mark Strong with hair. But seriously, I really loved it. You know, I can't wait to see this film. I haven't seen it yet because I missed it in theater. I actually went to the theater to see it. Wasn't playing anymore.
I was bummed, man. There was a few like Tar that were not straight up action or adventure, and I was like, no, but I'm gonna go, and then I didn't.
I'm getting the 4K disc, so I'm gonna wait and watch it in 4K. I can't wait to see this. I've watched that woke clip that's making the rounds where she tells the kid's like, I'm not gonna study white cis male composers anymore, and she gives them the business.
Nice.
I've seen that clip 6 times. I love it. Love it. Can't wait. Go Kate. Reamer Bulldog says top phase 4. 1, WandaVision. 2, No Way Home. 3, Shang-Chi. 4, Miss Marvel. 5, Wakanda Forever. You know, that's a good list. I'll buy that. What do you think?
Well, can you bring that back up?
Oh, I would love to.
Just because WandaVision, No Way Home, Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel. Oh, okay. I was thinking you were listing it because I saw phase 5 and my brain said WandaVision was 5 for it.
Oh.
That's why I got confused. No, that's pretty spot on.
I think it's a spot on list. Yep. I'm with you. James Wheeler says, hello, everyone. Rob, I've been watching the movies on the BFI Top 100 list, and I've never seen this movie. Janine Dealman. I have not seen this. I don't even know this movie, James.
I haven't heard anything.
That's a hole. You Brits, I need to know what's going on over there. I don't know the film, but now I've got to look it up.
During the show.
Wow. Oh, Chantal Ackerman. Okay. I've never seen this. Wow, that was fast. Taylor. You are quick on the draw.
Thank you.
Well, I'd watch this. I like Chantal Ackerman's films, but I've never seen this. Nice. No, I'm excited.
I like when people will pull something and Rob stumped a little bit.
I'm like, I don't even know this movie.
Yeah.
Love it. It's French too.
Well, it shows you just how much is out there.
So much is out there.
And the discovery can never end in a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, but the important thing is to discover.
Right.
I like that. It's good. Scotty Hale says, did you get a chance to check out the Last of Us character posters? I thought they looked great. I didn't know they dropped them. Have you seen those for the HBO series?
Yes. I actually saw them during the show. I was going to bring it up, but I didn't want to give Ray more work.
Oh, I haven't seen them. I didn't know they dropped.
Instagram, you can check them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you could look at the monitor.
I'm not like huge on character posters. I'm kind of like in the camp of Dennis Zen used to say the same thing. It's like, okay, it's a character that's in the movie, and we know they're in the movie. I don't get excited over it.
Well, see, now this poster does not scream Last of Us to me. It's like, are we milking the cows? What is this?
Hang on, can you go back? Who was it? Who is that person playing? Frank. I don't remember who Frank is.
I mean, but this does not scream like the world's in a state of trouble.
Right.
This is like, I've come to milk the cows.
Now, did you get the not that one? Is there any more? Was that?
I mean, that's cool.
Because Nick Offerman, the one of Nick Offerman as and I can't remember the character's name in the video game. Maybe you guys can remember. He has his own city that's barricaded.
Okay. I'm pulling it up.
Oh yeah.
That he looks just like the character in the game.
In the game. Yeah. Yep. That's really great. You know what? I love Nick Offerman. He was great in Devs. I love Devs. Cool. Those are cool. Now I've seen them.
I just can't wait to see it. I'm a huge fan of the IP, and I can't wait to see
the
show.
It's
HBO. It's premiere.
It's going to be great. I can't wait to see the effects on the.
Well, even what I've seen, just the clickers alone, I'm like, wow, God, it looks just like
right. I can't.
It's not like they're like, well, we didn't want to copy it directly, and we did something stupid. Like, it looks great.
It looks great.
Yeah,
I can't wait. It's gonna be great. Yo Mama's Llama says, love you, but I've noticed that the main topics from emails are 90% current events. It seems artificially curated. Why not rename it Current Events?
Well, because our main show is not evergreen, really. It is topical. Each day it's driven by the news cycle. And so it's it's either a new story that's dropped or a story that's progressing throughout the day. Sometimes or throughout the week. So sometimes we may cover something because there's new developments a couple times in the week. Stuff like this is evergreen. We can talk about anything and it doesn't matter when you watch it. Or like, and then obviously like when we're doing after shows, it has to be for that week's after show. I do agree. I think, we could benefit for even more evergreen content here on the show. And John has acknowledged that too. But on the main show, we have to keep it topical for that day's news.
Yeah, I agree. Vader voice will live on. Samuel said the same thing Quentin Tarantino said in 2016. The video is the Hollywood Reporter Roundtable talk in 2016. Simu Liu made a tweet, and the host of The View blindsided Samuel with it. Oh, Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, that's what happened. Oh, Samuel said, okay. Yeah, I mean, look, as I said before, and I think we did a good job covering it today,
Yeah.
The idea of the movie star has changed. And if you looked at the movie stars before, they had carefully crafted and curated public personas. I mean, the way they were photographed, the studios made these people into gods.
So like if you look at a Quentin Tarantino movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he even has someone playing the role of
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee, yes, but also your other example. Why am I trying? The Great Escape.
It's Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen.
Absolutely.
And that's for a reason.
Yeah.
So that's why I think you're spot on with that observation. And I don't think he was trying to pull a kind of a Scorsese thing, saying these movies suck or these movies are dumb.
No,
he wasn't doing that. I think he says things sometimes and you could pull it out of context. And I don't think he was even implying that if it weren't for these Marvel movies, someone like Anthony Mackie or whatever, or Simu Liu wouldn't eventually become a star. I don't think he was doing that either, because he wouldn't be disrespectful to artists. That's not his way.
No, and the thing is, I think that he's right in the sense that, look, if it's like James Bond. I mean, the actors that played James Bond, Sean Connery became a movie star after he played James Bond. I mean,
Yes.
He was in like Darby O'Gill and The Little People,
Right.
And then he was Bond, and then he became a bigger star afterwards. But like Timothy Dalton, not a huge star, played Bond. Pierce Brosnan.
I was going to say Pierce Brosnan was on Remington Steele. But then when he was cast, people were like, the guy from Remington Steele?
Yeah, I mean, and I think playing these characters, to me, a movie star becomes bigger than the movies they're in. Mm-hmm. You go to see, and someone made the point earlier, like you'd go see a Sly Stallone or a Schwarzenegger movie, no matter what he was in. Like Schwarzenegger's in Red Heat.
And
It didn't
Bruce
matter.
Willis.
And Bruce Willis too. And if it wouldn't matter.
Right.
If you like Stallone, you're going to go see Commando.
Right.
I mean, you're going to go, if you like Schwarzenegger, you're going to see Commando, or you're going to go see Red Heat, or you're going to go see Kindergarten Cop.
Right.
And I don't think we have that. Like, I would not go see a movie that Chris Evans stars in just because it's Chris Evans.
Just because he's in. But
Yeah.
we've talked about that for years now, that it is no longer the star that is driving the movie. Sometimes it's the director, especially if it's like an auteur director.
Yep.
Or it's the story itself.
And the subject matter, I mean, even in the business, people would acknowledge, like, Jim Carrey does not get $20 million anymore because
Right.
he's Jim Carrey.
Now, I would say there might be an argument for the flip side of that. I do think that some of these new like premiere series on streaming can be actor driven at first to drive attention to it, but if it sucks, people go away.
Right. Yes, I think you're right. I just think that the movie star is no longer in our culture. Not the way it was in the 1940s or
Yes.
50s.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stars all around you now, but I mean, there are young people that they have TikTok stars and
Sure.
Insta stars, and we have people.
Competing
You have
with so much content now.
I mean, the Kardashians. Some of them have how many millions of subscribers?
Right.
That dwarfs. I mean, that eclipses anything a movie star would have
Yeah.
ever had. So it's just different.
It's competing with so much more content. I mean, back then you had 3 networks and you had movies.
I mean, people now aspire to be influencers, not movie stars,
Right.
which is crazy. when you think about it.
Yeah, it kind of angers me because there's no creativity anymore. It's just all salesmanship.
Yeah, that's yeah. Except us.
Yes.
We're damn creative. I mean, you're a creative guy. You edit, you shoot.
I try.
You're a storyteller.
I try. I like just making fun of myself more than anything, but
well, there we go.
And
that's what we're here for.
Talking like a cat, Jonathan.
Make fun of you.
Yeah, because sometimes I talk like this if I just like a cat in the room.
I could do that.
That's pretty good.
People are like, "What?"
That's worthy of Chris Carr's voiceover class.
And I'm not even like straining my voice. Like I do it where I could keep talking like that.
Wow, it's pretty good.
I've done that voice for Chris. She loves it. And I was like, well, then maybe I should take your voice acting class. She's like, I love that.
It's a great voice.
So
it's a good voice.
Hey, join up for Chris Carr's voice acting class at Speak Friend.
Yeah, Speak Friend Studios.
Yeah,
something like that.
If you just Google it, you'll find it.
Chris Carr,
and
Speak
you never
Friend.
know. Maybe I'll be in the class with you.
You never know.
What's next?
Hank Cooper in the live chat wants to know if that's your Elmo impersonation.
No, this is so like if I'm talking to like a little cat baby, he's just a little guy, so you gotta be gentle because they don't always know.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Chats are raining now.
Hey, man, it's just my cat voice. You dig it or you don't dig it.
Yeah, Stevie Loves Horror says, being a new YouTuber and only using my iPhone, what is the best editing apps and how can I gain confidence on camera? Should I have a set schedule? Okay, Stevie, these are all actually really good questions. I mean, I've never used editing apps on a phone. So, I mean, if you want to, here's something. If you are just picking up editing, DaVinci Resolve is a great editing software. It's free, right?
It is free.
It's free.
There's a paid version with some more features. You can render videos faster, but the free is perfect.
Free is perfect. It's a great way to start. Adobe Premiere is really dense. There's a lot to learn. Mm-hmm. I like Final Cut X.
When I started editing, I started on Avid.
I'm Avid.
So
too, yeah.
so I was trained on Avid and I was certified on Avid. And then when I got into the YouTube space, nobody used Avid. It was all Premiere. So I literally had to learn Premiere, and that's all I've been using for the last decade is Premiere. And so for me to switch over to DaVinci, it's a little strange. But that's why anyone that's starting new, I'm just like, just go into DaVinci.
It's just simpler. I mean, Premiere, there's so much there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. And by the way, back to the rest of the question you wanted to know about. Put the question back up, Taylor.
1 sec.
Best editing. How can I gain confidence? Well, that's a personal issue. I mean, how does anybody gain confidence doing anything? Here's my thing. Go out into the world. Go out into the world and interact with people. And, the thing that the first thing that all YouTubers should know, if you want to get on YouTube, is what you're giving the world is yourself. That's what you're giving the world, which means you need to lean into what makes you unique, what makes your voice worth listening to. And that's what you need to figure out about yourself. And I think when you do that and you start interacting on YouTube, you will gain confidence. Because that's what gets you
right
to you get viewers, you engage with people, and people want to, if I was just sitting here going, hey, Jonathan, what should we talk about?
I mean, that's my inner voice. And then I just start projecting because I know I'm on camera. And that's just something I've learned over the years being at AMC, Collider, and here.
Yeah.
And wherever else. But yeah, I would add to that, make sure you're actually very informed in what you're talking about, so that your opinion is an informed opinion. You will find confidence and passion in your opinion. That's
great
point. Number one. Number two, just understand, and maybe you won't, but let's just say your first videos are going to suck. You're going to suck. Go back, rewatch what you did, and you're gonna hate the sound of your own voice. Everyone typically does at first. And then you're gonna be like, oh, I have a lot of pregnant pauses. I stutter a lot there. Oh, I could have conveyed my thoughts better, more clearly. Keep rewatching your own work.
Yep.
Keep doing your own work regularly. And then before you know it, you're gonna become a master communicator, and you will find confidence in that.
Great point. Love
Thank
it.
you.
Well said. Dennis Lecomte says, thank you, Chris, for knowing the difference between Creole and Cajun.
Well,
I'm not here. I mean, I didn't live in that. I would imagine isn't
She would know because her family's from like Houston area in that border.
And Aaron Cummings is from Louisiana
Yeah.
and Texas.
Yeah. So there's a lot of kind of cross-border, goodness going on in southern Louisiana and southeastern Texas.
And there's like the Caribbean. I mean, the Creole is Creole mixed race, and then Cajun. I don't know the difference.
I don't know the exact definition.
I don't either.
But Chris does, and I'm glad you're appreciating that Chris does.
I need to know. Now I need to I'll use that.
I do know, and I
internet.
forgot. So you know what? I'll look it up, and then.
Taylor, can you look up the difference between Creole and Cajun? Now I want to know.
Sure.
Yeah. But let's get to the next
I'll go to the
question while
next
you do
one,
that.
and then while I'm looking that up, you guys can talk about this one.
The Everything Entertainment Network is back with another $20 super chat. I mostly listen to the audio editions while I'm at work daily. Any chance of adding Weekly Hero or open spoiler discussions to the after show feed? Well, I'd certainly like it if we added the Weekly Hero.
Well, the open spoiler discussions, are you referring to our, there is, and Taylor probably has it up here for our picture-in-picture, the podcast for like Andor and any after shows. But right now, all our after shows are over. But I mean, Last of Us, we're going to cover. We are contemplating, I can't make promises. We're contemplating things like Tulsa King, Yellowstone.
I want to do Star Trek
Mankind,
Picard season 3.
Picard season 3. So we would be doing that for open spoiler discussions. I mean, maybe if you're talking about specifically like a movie. Now, as far as Weekly Hero, trust me, I'm pushing for it to go on that. So hopefully that happens soon.
I could give an explanation for why the open spoiler, if you want.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Just grab your mic.
Sorry. Well, the open spoiler, I could say that a lot of the open spoiler discussions, they take place sometimes at John's house. And so I have to download them. And those things go so long, YouTube won't let me download and convert to audio.
Oh, yeah.
And then John doesn't keep a file for those, or else they'll be going up. So a lot of the times, the open spoilers are just way too long in order to get. Even if we were here, those would be like, sometimes they're 3 hours, right? Just the show today, the John Campea Show, was 8 gigs. So like when you go 3 or 4 hours and then I have to get it at home, I'm downloading for a couple of days. So that's the only reason why those open spoilers don't go. I'll put up any that I could. Anything that we have other than Weekly Hero, I'm putting up. So the Weekly Hero thing, I've asked about it, and we're still going through with it. So he's still talking to whoever sets up our podcast to set up a channel.
We're definitely making a push for Weekly Hero. It seems to be very successful now. Get it up on audio podcasts. I think that's going to happen. And I'm working with John on some other ideas for content. So just stay tuned.
Yeah, and as far as Weekly Hero goes, please like, please subscribe, and all that.
Yep.
Set the hit the bell. I mean, you probably already subscribed to the channel, but we need all the engagement we can get, and leave a comment down below if you can.
And with that, let's take a break.
Thank you, MeUndies. Well, I guess we're going to hear from our sponsor for this episode of the Open Mic.
Hold on, I just spent like 10 minutes looking up the difference between Creole
Taylor,
and
Okay,
Cajun.
good. We're going to get it. We'll come when we come back. We'll
All
come
right.
back. You
Blew
tell
the
us.
joke, man.
That was a joke?
I don't know.
The holidays are officially upon us, and it's time to start celebrating. Do your thing and holiday your way with MeUndies. Because it's the most wonderful time of the year to try MeUndies, because they're currently offering a very merry deal. Get 20% off your first purchase with free standard shipping and free returns when you go to MeUndies.com/Campea. Guys, you know I've been wearing MeUndies for a while now because I used to be like everybody else. I would go to the big store, buy the biggest box of the most generic underwear, and I thought that was good enough. But ever since I started MeUndies and started wearing the most comfortable underwear I have ever worn in my life, I swear on this Christmas season, I will never go back. So get your holiday shopping finished early and start making time for yourself with the new MeUndies holiday collection. Their undies, long underwear, and sleepwear are made out of the softest, most supple fabric you've ever felt and are guaranteed to bring you comfort and joy to all of your loved ones. Shop their classic plaid prints for a traditional, picture-perfect style, or get festive with their adventurous limited edition sweater prints. Available in sizes extra small all the way through 4XL, MeUndies has what you need to make all of your favorite people smile this holiday season, all in one convenient place. So to get 20% off your first order, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Campea.
And thank you, MeUndies, for sponsoring this open mic. All right, I know the suspense has been killing at least 3 of you in the live chat. So let me just tell you, according to the World Wide Web, the difference between Cajun food and Creole food, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, is that Creole food typically uses tomatoes and tomato-based sauces, while traditional Cajun food does not. So I hope that answers...
Well, hang on. No. We're talking about the people.
Right.
What makes the difference between a Cajun person
Like a Cajun
and a Creole person?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about tomatoes.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Look it up again.
Look it
Let's
up
go
again.
next.
We'll
What's
see who's next. But it's a good try. Orange Hand said, would the perception of a ridiculous premise, actually impossible premise, change if presented under different circumstances? Like if La Brea was a Christopher Nolan film or a Stephen King novel, would people still say that's dumb? Okay, I love this question, Orange Hand. So for those of you who don't know, I just made up, maybe it was used or I read it somewhere, but in my own mind, I've made it up. I call certain things impossible premise shows, meaning you can never actually solve them. And My Beloved Manifest, which is a show that is about nothing but gobbledygook, and it deserves great credit because the actors sell it. And what I mean about that is you can't ever give an explanation for why there are callings because it would never make any sense at all. It doesn't work. So what they do is they never answer the question. And in Lost asks one question. The initial question of Lost is, what is the island? They never answer it. The entire show, they never answer what is it. It could be a number of different things, because to answer that question is to then defeat the premise of the show. So it's an impossible premise. But I think that the difference is the way the stories are told, because in a Stephen King story or a Christopher Nolan movie, they know what they're doing. They understand their premise and they're going to carry it through to some kind of a conclusion. They already know when they start. An impossible premise show is a show that has a brilliant pilot, but the people that wrote that pilot have a vague notion of where the story's going to go, and they're never really going to get there because it changes as they go along. Hire different writing staffs. I mean, a good example of that, not just Lost or Manifest, but there was an old UPN show called Nowhere Man. It was canceled before its time, but what was that show about? They didn't have an answer for that. And I think the very first impossible premise show was originally Patrick McGowan's The Prisoner, which really has a very open-ended ending. So there you go.
There you go.
But writers know where they're going. Okay,
here we go. According to the World Wide Web, Creoles are from New Orleans, while Cajuns populate the rural parts of South Louisiana. These are big words, but is that what you want?
Still a little vague. Because
vague.
People in rural Louisiana can still go into New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Creole and Cajun was actually like literally different ethnicities.
I think so.
So
the search goes on.
Yeah, keep going, Taylor.
The search does not go on. That ends here. And what's next?
Jonathan Cahoon says, following the release of the Guardians Christmas special, which 2023 movie are you most looking forward to? Guardians Volume 3 or Ant-Man 3? What about you, Jonathan?
I'm going to go Ant-Man 3.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think so. I am too. Because Guardians we kind of know what we're going to get with Guardians.
And we just got the special.
Yeah, and Quantum Mania it's first of all, it's different than the other two Ant-Man movies,
Right.
and they're introducing Kang, and whatever's being set up is going to have ramifications. I'm with you.
And you know
Quantumania.
what? You know what's funny is everyone's like, "Oh, do you think there'll be like Fantastic Four, this or that?" I wouldn't be surprised if we see Loki in Ant-Man 3.
I wouldn't either.
Why do we just leave Loki in a series with Kang
I-
and a new Kang variant and not have him in this?
I don't know. I think you might be right. I think you might be right.
right.
You might be crazy.
No.
It just might be a lunatic you're looking for. Sebastian Gomez says the bread van scene from Banshees of Inisherin was the funniest moment of the year. Had me laughing uncontrollably long after the scene was over. Well, Sebastian, I look forward to seeing it. Well, there you go. There it is right there. I have not seen the film, so I do not know how funny it's going to be, but I take your word for it. Taylor, that was not from Banshees of Inisherin, I would assume.
That was a Muppet.
That's what I thought.
There you go. Okay, here's an update. We're only halfway there, though. So, okay, and I did see someone mention this in the chat, too, that Creole essentially just means native. Like, native to a land or whatever. But in present Louisiana, Creole generally means a person or people of mixed colonial French and African American and Native American ancestry. So that's Creole. So now I got to look up Cajun.
I love the Creole ladies. Can I just say that?
You love redheads.
I love redheads. I love Creole ladies. You know, what can I say? Should I wait for you or keep going? We'll keep going. Alex Mata says, wanted to share with you, Rob, my favorite piece of physical media, the Avengers Endgame 4K Steelbook signed by MCU EP Victoria Alonso. That's badass. I have that Steelbook, but mine, however, is not signed, which makes yours way better than mine. That's very cool. Very cool. And I'm proud you have that. I just wish it was IMAX enhanced, the movie itself, not the Steelbook.
And then as far as Cajuns go, now this is definitive. I just wrote what race is Cajun because I just don't, I wasn't sure what this was. So for Cajuns, they're a subset of Louisiana Creoles. Today, commonly understanding holds Cajuns are white and Creoles are black or mixed race. Creoles are from New Orleans, while Cajuns are, so they're probably French descent, but they're white, and then
right.
Creole is a mixture of different races.
All right. See, that's what I'm looking for. Now I know. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. All right.
So wait, which ones use tomatoes for their food? Or what was the tomatoes?
It's so long ago, I've forgotten.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up later.
I'll look that back up. Parker sends in a super chat and says, can you please make John finally see The Woman King since it is out on digital now? He has to see this amazing movie. You know what? I can't even get John to watch Tough Turf. How am I getting him to watch The Woman King?
I want to watch Tough Turf.
I've got it. We should bring it in and have a movie day.
Let's do it.
Tough
We
Turf.
can watch it over here
with James Spader, Robert Downey Jr., Kim Richards, and Olivia Barish.
We'll set it up.
Let's do it.
Oh, but wait a minute. If it's you're gonna have to bring a Blu-ray player because we don't have a Blu-ray player.
Oh
here.
man, I can bring one. It's only on. Actually, I only have it on DVD.
All right, I can.
Oh no, I have it on Blu-ray.
I have an Xbox I can bring, and we'll run it on that.
All right,
there
we go. Yeah, I have it on Blu-ray.
But back to the person's question: have either of you seen The Woman King yet?
No, I have not either. And
it's really
not
good.
for any other reason. I just missed it.
It's really, really good.
Wait,
highly recommend it.
I saw the. What am I talking about?
You did see The Woman
I did
King.
see The
here
Woman
we go.
King. I'm like, I saw The Woman King. I saw it because I talked to the Gersha Phillips, the costume designer, and you can see the interview I did with her on Designing Hollywood. So I was like, I don't know why I'm like.
Well, we go through so much content.
I'm just like, well, and I'm like, what? But it's interesting. The movie has an interesting debate around the reality of what they leaned into in the film. But I like the movie a lot. It's really well made. And Viola Davis is fierce in the movie. So.
Well, I want to check it out.
It's good.
I'll make my own decisions.
You'll like it.
All right.
I mean, make a good double bill with The Northman.
Oh yeah, and I said earlier, I haven't seen The Northman.
Yeah, there you go.
Why have I not seen The Northman yet?
Yep.
All right.
The Northman is lit.
Yeah. CJ Rebirth says, producer John, 2 for 2 in Amazing Me. You're awesome.
Oh man, I did it. Thank you. Hey, all I did was be born and raised in Burbank. But yeah, it is true. Edward Scissorhands is based on basically the suburbs I live in. You might also recognize those suburbs if you're a fan of The Wonder Years, because it was shot all over Burbank. The house where the Arnolds live is in Burbank on University Street. I lived probably blocks from there, and I grew up at my time when growing up, I would always see Kevin and his dad like with the car attached to the trailer going down Glen Oaks Boulevard in Burbank while they're shooting a scene.
Wow.
Or they would shoot up at Brace Park by my house. A lot of times they'd shoot at when I was at John Muir Middle School, they were literally shooting scenes to the show while we were going to school there. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Sam Sugart says, Triangle of Sadness. I enjoyed it very much. I think Rob would like it. I can't wait to see that movie. Taylor, what scene did you not like that you mentioned the other day?
Oh, I liked the movie overall. I just thought that it was one of the movies that could use some editing down. There were some scenes. The one scene in particular that I mentioned was there was a scene where there's a couple fighting, and they start fighting at a restaurant, but then they keep fighting in the car, then they keep fighting at home. And I just feel like that could have been narrowed down and been funnier if maybe like a few minutes here and there were cut out of it. But overall, I did enjoy Triangle of Sadness, just needed a little help with the editing.
I am looking forward to seeing it. Checkmate 9 Moves says, my question has to do with movie credits. Who puts it together? What about the music or the actor's order in the cast list? Is this the director's job? That is a good question. Usually, the billing on the movie, the cast list can be done alphabetically or it can be done by contractually, depending on who's on the top of the call sheet. But usually the credits, believe it or not, are done by a separate company. And the director doesn't usually do the credits. The director will have some say in the design of the credits, but for the most part, usually they're farmed out to a company. And sometimes the people that do the opening credits do not do the closing credits. I'll give you an example. I did the closing credits for Tango Shalom, and there are so many names and so much music. It took me about a week because you have to sit there and make sure that they're typed correctly, and I had all these Indian names because we had a Sikh wedding that they recreated, and everybody, in order to do it, wanted their names in the end of the film. It was a nightmare. I just sit there, and it was so difficult to type these names when you don't know the names. Like, I don't know, it's not John, it was like Ashwara.
Right.
And I'm like,
you got to get the spelling right.
Got to get spelling right, and it took me a week. It was a nightmare. But for the most part, it's usually a company. And it's either contractual or it's alphabetical with the cast list. And then the names of the departments usually are the same. It moves down. There's kind of a generalized format.
Right. And then the music that plays in it is well, that's okay. The music supervisor will choose that, but it's still in conjunction with the director.
Yes.
You know.
And then you have to, like, the actual music that's in a movie, a song, you have to put the name of the song, who performed the song, who the publishing is owned by. You have to put all that as well. So everything
all at once.
Sky Amazing Guy says, that's what I was trying to think of. The new Transformers trailer is tomorrow. Are you guys excited for it? It's Transformers Beast Wars.
Rise of the Beast.
Rise of the Beast. Yeah, can you believe it?
Wait a minute. Hang on. This is animated?
No, I
it's
think
live
it's
action.
an actual another big live action Transformers movie.
I've heard zero news. This is literally the first time I've heard that another one is coming out.
I know. Well,
Who's the lead in it? Who's the star?
no idea.
Okay, I'll tell you guys really quick.
No idea.
We have Anthony Ramos from In the Heights is going to be in it.
Right.
Ron Perlman is going to be in it.
Nice.
Pete Davidson, and people whose names I can't pronounce. So, Lauren Velez.
Well, there you
So
go.
There you go.
It's happening tomorrow.
This is news to me.
News to me.
That's a good name for a show. And that's news to me.
I mean, I hope it's as good as Bumblebee. Probably won't be.
I
but
didn't see Bumblebee.
It's good. Bumblebee is
the
good.
trailer bummed me out because they were like, once again, what's his name's going off, Optimus Prime's going off the rails, and he was like stabbing Bumblebee and stuff. I'm like, why am I going to see this movie?
You should see it.
All right.
See it.
All right.
Wait, is Michelle Yeoh really going to be in it? Oh, she is going to be in it.
Is she really?
But you know what? I bet it's a voice. I bet it's a voice.
She probably does a voice.
Is it still, what's his name directing?
Yeah, who directed it?
Oh, come on. Let's see.
What's his name?
Directed by Stephen Capel Jr.
Oh,
All right. Well, then it's a new direction.
it's all
maybe.
new to me. It'll be interesting to see it.
All right.
I'll look. I'll watch any giant robots fighting anybody. It'll be great. Future Millionaire says, come on, Jonathan and Rob. What were some Black Friday purchases you guys did, if any? I treated myself to a 55-inch LG OLED. It's awesome. Why only 55 inches?
You might have space confinement.
It's true. By the way, I rock a 65-inch LG OLED. I love it. It's great.
I think I've got I have a 65. It's not OLED though.
Yeah, it's so amazing. It's Dolby Vision. I love it. But to be honest, I didn't buy anything for Black
I was
Friday.
so boring. I almost didn't buy anything. I bought a Keychron K10 keyboard, mechanical keyboard. That's what I bought.
Well, that's cool.
That's how it is nice to type with, but it's a really boring buy.
Yeah, I honestly didn't buy anything, only because I'm so house poor now, mortgage poor. I can't, every time I buy something, I buy a Blu-ray, I feel guilty.
Okay, I guess that's not true, because I was on my
You liar.
I was on my PlayStation, and it's really hard to deny like some of those when you see a game for $6.99 or $8.99, and it's like a full like RPG game, and it's like, yeah. So I bought like maybe 6 or 7 games that were dirt cheap because they're older, and I played a lot of them on Xbox, but I have my PlayStation in the living room on the big TV. So I was like, well, I buy it again, I'm going to do it dirt cheap. So I wait for the end of the year sales.
That's cool.
So bunch of games, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get anything. I'm lame. The Swifties said, have you guys checked out Slight with Jacob Lattimore?
No.
I have not.
Slight or Sight? No, Slight. Yeah,
Slight.
no. I
Slight.
have not.
Slight. I have not. I don't know it.
But I want to check out. There's two things now that I want to check out that we talked about on the main show today.
You've got to check out Occupation.
Okay.
It's good.
That's Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll check that out. And then two things were mentioned. One was with Gary Oldman.
Slow Horses.
Okay, I want to see that.
Yeah.
And then there was something in the super chats today. Someone mentioned it wasn't Slow Horses. And they were like, oh, you got to check this out. Oh man, I'll review the super chats today and check it out.
Oh yeah. I know this. I haven't watched this, but I know this.
Oh, Slight. So
yeah,
sleight of hand, sort of like.
Yeah, but
obviously
I think
he's stopping bullets too, though.
Yeah. It's like a superhero show.
All right.
I'll watch this. Yeah. Seconds from Disaster said, I think I figured out what the MCU is missing now. It lacks heart. Like when Cap tells Bucky, do it, because I'm with you, till the end of the line. There's no more heartfelt moments like that anymore. I think there's something to be said for that because the characters, Steve Rogers himself, when he throws himself on the grenade in that test in the beginning of the first Avenger, his character is all about the heart, the beating heart of the red-blooded American man. That's what he is. I think it's a good observation to make. We'll get the heart back.
I do think we got the heart in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
We did.
Absolutely.
And I don't care about any argument about, it was just fan, whatever. Like,
no, there was heart in that movie.
Yeah, for
Yep,
sure. But I do agree. Some of the other movies are just sort of like cold, kind of.
Yeah.
know?
They're fun.
Yeah.
But the heart, you know what? I will say this. I did love the beginning of Shang-Chi when Wenwu was meeting his wife for the first time.
Now, there's heart in Shang-Chi, but that's that. I think Shang-Chi and No Way Home were standouts so far of Phase 4. Those are the standouts.
I agree.
There's heart in Miss Marvel, which is why for this series or WandaVision, those stand out for Phase 4.
And I think, look, there's heart in Wakanda Forever. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of heart there too, but not the kind of.
I know what he
kind
mean.
of. Yeah.
I know what he's saying. Like in terms of like even like if you were like looking at Ragnarok or Multiverse of Madness. I kind of get it.
Yes.
Like there's moments where you're sympathetic for the characters.
But
or
there's
whatever.
not a lot. Yeah. There's not. I totally.
Yeah.
There's. Yeah. It's a good observation. Jay Bling says something I personally found tragic about Paul Walker's death is that Jordana Brewster hadn't filmed her scenes for Furious 7 yet. I know we never get to see them together. It is kind of a bummer. For those of you who don't know, today is the 9th anniversary of the passing of Paul Walker, the accident that took his life during the production of Fast 7, which is very sad. And a life cut too short. And by all accounts, he was just a wonderful guy, and everyone really loved him. So it's very tragic. But it's kind of neat that his legacy continues on with these films. So, I mean, can't believe we're getting 10 and 11 and maybe another Hobbs and Shaw.
I've only seen through Tokyo Drift and I stopped. But I also understand that the tone shifted from 4 on.
Yes.
So I should give them another chance.
You should watch 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Get to 5.
Okay.
Because 5's the best.
All right.
It's my favorite. It's Fast 5's great. The Swifty says, I rewatched Unaccompanied Minors last night, one of my childhood movies. I believe it's one of Paul Feig's underrated films. Thoughts? I've never seen Unaccompanied Minors. Never seen it.
Is there a shot of it you could pick up, Taylor? Maybe if I
I'll look it up.
I've never seen it.
Unaccompanied Minors. That sounds so familiar, but man, yeah, it's not ringing a bell.
Yeah.
Who was in it?
I haven't seen
And
it.
when did it come out? Because I don't know how old our chatter is.
I don't know. Yeah, childhood
What was your
movies. I don't-
childhood? Was
well,
it the
yeah,
90s, the aughts, the 80s?
Don't know.
I don't know.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, no, I never saw this. I was too old for this. But it
All
looks
right,
like
so
it's
the
funny.
aughts, but I do remember this now, but I didn't see it.
And it's a Christmas movie. Maybe I'll have to check it out for. You know what? I'll watch this holiday movie. Silent Night. Yeah, right. I like that. All right, cool. I'll totally watch that. Hammy Reacts says I watched Bones and All last week. It was pretty good.
Taylor, have you seen Bones and All?
Yeah, Bones and All was so good. It's funny though because almost back to back, I watched The Menu, which made me super, super hungry, and then I watched Bones and All, which made me never want to eat again. But it was a really fun movie. Let me see if I can figure out how to pull up. Oh, is that it? That's not it. That's Rob. Oh, there we go. Oh, I did it. The first time I've ever put myself in a pip. I did it. Timothy Chalamet, and the lead actress's name is Taylor. I don't remember her last name, but she was really good in it too.
Now, is she
Very
Creole,
fun movie.
though?
I would really recommend it. When I saw it, it was only playing at the Grove, so I had to go all the way to the Grove to watch it. But Thanksgiving week, it went wide, so hopefully it's playing near you.
Oh, and you know what, Taylor? I lied to you. There is a shot of me and you side by side. It's called Chris and Jonathan or something like that. It's on the other one, so you'll find it. But anyway, moving on.
Now you have me looking.
You can look for it while we read the questions.
Hammy Reacts says, what does it mean for a movie to be directed well? Well, that's a great question. I mean, the simplest way is that each individual shot in a film has to be directed in terms of its composition. And I think if a movie is really well directed, each shot contributes to the language, the cinema of the movie. And if each shot tells the story well, collectively, it means the whole movie is really well directed. I'll give you an example. Exposition in movies is usually a no-no. You can't just spend time telling something, have characters just explain your story. That's a no-no. And any film school class will say you can't do that. Exposition. Watch Raiders of the Lost Ark and the scene where the government operatives. That's badly
that's
directed.
Just on his end. They don't see
that was just
That's just on
studio
the-
mode. They didn't see
It's
that.
just on your end. So in Raiders of the Lost Ark, there's one of the greatest exposition dump scenes ever. And it's when the two government agents listen to Indiana Jones explain, like in the gymnasium, what the Ark of the Covenant is. And it's literally an exposition dump. Everything about that scene should not work. Every screenwriting teacher will tell you to never do that. And if you look at how that scene is shot, directed by Spielberg, it's unbelievable the way it bounces around to the actors.
It's that because you're saying actors. It's his nonchalant delivery.
The acting in that is great. Oh, there's a picture of it right here. You know,
You'll see here this eternal power. In the
what is that? Fire, power, God.
Yeah.
You know,
But if it was like, this is fire, power of God, and we need to stop it
Yeah.
because of reasons, you know.
yeah. And the funny thing is, and he's like tossing up because he doesn't really believe it.
Right.
And that's just what the Hebrews thought.
You know the old saying, you got to learn the rules and then you can break them.
Yes.
But if you don't know the rules and you break them, it's really stupid.
Another great scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark is the scene when Indiana Jones is packing, also talking to Marcus Brody, and it's almost like one shot. The camera's moving in and out and turning a two-shot into a single and coming back out again. Brilliant.
They did it in Last Crusade as well, because when they raid his home and he's talking with Brody and he's like, he has the grail in his hand the whole time because he's not looking at
Right.
it. And then he does that and he reveals what that's the same idea.
Yeah, it's great. What's next? Hammy React says, what are some signs for a well-written screenplay? Well, I mean, a well-written screenplay, there's a couple of things, because it's not just the dialogue that the characters say. A screenplay itself is a certain, I mean, when you're looking at the actual written pages, it's how well it reads. A great screenwriter, in very few words, will paint a picture in your mind, in the reader's mind, exactly like where you are, what's going on, and then the dialogue, of course, has to be great as well. And if you read a great screenplay, in your mind's eye, the whole movie will play out in your imagination, because that's how great the writing is. I think one of the greatest screenplays ever written, there's three that come to mind, and they're old movies, but watch all three of them. You should watch all three of these. All of you out there, watch all three of these movies. One is Sunset Boulevard, one is All About Eve, and the other is The Sweet Smell of Success. Tell your Uncle Bob. tell them your Uncle Bob sent you. That's what I meant to say.
Did you ever do on your films and films you were involved in, whether you were editing or directing or whatever? When I was in post-production school, a lot of our teachers were editors who worked on films.
Right.
Because that's what Video Symphony offered. That's why you paid them the money, because you were getting people who are in the industry.
Yeah, yeah.
And one thing that I always thought was so cool is one of the editors was telling me anytime he wrapped a film, he would do a script bound in like a leather binding and give it to the producer, the director, and whoever. You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah.
And do stuff like that. I always thought that was
That's really
nice
cool.
idea.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a really great idea. That's a great idea. I love that idea. I mean, I always like to go back and look at the script after we've cut the film to see how does it match up.
Yeah.
Because the idea that you write a script, well, movie's written 3 times when you actually write it. You rewrite it when you're shooting it, and then you rewrite it a 3rd time, the last time when you edit the film.
Right.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Well, if you ever want to know if your script is good, you can send it on.
No,
and
no.
He will critique it for free.
No.
That's all.
No,
he wants.
I would encourage you, for all of you budding screenwriters out there, just remember, you're going to give your script to people to read. I would ask all of you to look up on the internet Josh Olson, Academy Award nominated Josh Olson. Look up find his essay, I Will Not Read Your Fucking Script. And just remember it. Just take it under consideration when you ask somebody to read your script. Just remember that essay. It's worth reading. Rebel Sky says, the Maverick of multimedia production. It's pretty good.
Maverick of yeah, I like that.
Or just the Maverick of multimedia.
Multimedia, yeah. That's production.
The Maverick of multimedia. We're going to accept that. Now, I expect some fan art. Someone out there do some fan art of Jonathan as the Maverick of multimedia. I want to see that. The Maverick of multimedia. What does that look like? All you budding artists out there, come on, get on that right now.
And I'm open to more because you have a few.
Yeah, you got, and that's a great one. That's the Maverick of multimedia.
So now when I get introduced, we got to remember that.
Yes, the Maverick of multimedia.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
See, there you go. It's a good one. I'll take it. And so will you. Fangblaze71 says, I love seeing Jonathan on open mics. He does great. Well, he is, after all, the Maverick of multimedia.
That is true. Fangblaze, I love seeing you on open mic. So thank you. And thank you for loving to see me on open mic.
And supporting the channel.
And yes, more importantly, supporting the channel.
That's good. What's next, Taylor? Chuck New 52 says, "G'day from Australia, boys." That's not very good. I was going to say, I want to slab a VB, mate.
No, that wasn't good.
That was bad. My favorite movie is 1979's The Warriors, and it's my dream that Arrow or Criterion restore it in 4K. What is your dream 4K restoration? First of all, now look what we have before us. We have the Sorensens sitting next to the Jones Street Boys. We have the Moon Runners right by the Van Cortlandt Ranges. And nobody is wasting nobody.
What's happening?
And that is a miracle. And miracles was the way things was meant to be. Sorry, that's a little Cyrus from the Warriors.
How did you stop before Can You Dig It?
I know. Well, I have to go in and talk about, now there ain't but 20,000 police in the whole town. Can you dig it?
What?
I love the Warriors.
Dude, if
as
you've never
you
seen
can
The
tell.
Warriors, you got
This is
it.
before my time.
Now, the fact that it's your
way
favorite
before my
movie, some respect there. It's not mine, but that's awesome. That's your favorite movie. I
Now,
love The Warriors.
while it's not in 4K, I will say this. The Australian company Indicator, screwed up, Indicators UK. The Australian home video company Imprint put out a box set of The Warriors, which is awesome, that has the bogus director's cut, but they put out the original theatrical version, and it's a 2-pack. It's the top slides off. It's awesome. I don't know if I think it's sold out, but hey, and I want a 4K of the original version of The Warriors so bad.
I want the Mondo poster.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I got action figures from Warriors. And then there was the great video game. There was a Warriors video game. Wait, what did he say? What was the other one? What was the other question he asked? Besides
Hold
talking
on.
about, I'm sorry, I was in my Warriors reverie. What is your dream 4K restoration? A Knight's Tale would also be cool. Ooh, well, I've got a lot of my 4K restoration dreams. I mean, stuff like Apocalypse Now, The Godfather, 2001. Yeah, that's the poster art too. Interesting tidbit about the Warriors. This is a stupid bit of trivia, but well, it's not stupid. But in the trailer, they actually used the Tangerine Dream music from William Friedkin's Sorcerer. I don't know why I know that, but I do. If you watch the trailer for the Warriors, the original trailer, it's the Sorcerer music. I mean, look, there's so many great things that we're getting in 4K. Dream movies of mine. I would love to get, there are 2 French movies that I'd love to get in 4K. I'd love to get Amélie in 4K, and I would love to get The Umbrellas of Cherbourg in the Jacques Demy film in 4K, because that would look incredible. Do you have any movies you want to get in 4K?
No, because I used to collect physical media and I ran out of room and I just stopped. I sold all of my physical media. Not my vinyl records. I still have all that, but my DVDs, Blu-rays. No. I still have a bunch of Blu-rays, but the girls took them over. So I guess they inherited them before I died. But like all of my CDs and stuff like that, I sold. I needed room.
Right. No. I also like to get Logan's Run in 4K, and I'd like to get Planet of the Apes, the original Planet of the Apes, in 4K, and Forbidden Planet in 4K.
Yeah.
Come on, people should get on that.
But my only thing, and I've said this to you before, is when you take these old films, especially with some special effects or practical effects, and then you put them under the lens of 4K, you're like, oh, that just looks like paint.
Sometimes
I can see that makeup caked on their skin, and you can see their pores, and it's
true.
just like, that takes. Maybe I should have just stuck with 480 on that.
You're harshing my mellow.
That's my only problem. It's like I don't want to see the caked on makeup.
Well, depends how good the colorist is who did the translation.
Yeah.
Good question, though. Fangblaze71 says, see that armored Deadpool hot toy, Rob? Looks cool. I have, and I believe I've been paying it off. I pre-ordered that Deadpool, that armored Deadpool, so long ago that I have no idea where I should look and see.
Is this the collection where it's like the Iron Man?
Yeah, it's not real. I mean, I guess it's from the comics or something, but the armor, it's more of a like a what if kind of a figure. It's
but
a badass figure.
They do it for different characters.
Yeah.
Because never mind. Nothing.
Oh, no. You almost ruined Christmas.
Nothing. Shut up. I did. Hey, how are you?
But it's cool. The armored Deadpool is a cool figure, and they've done that for a couple of things. Like they did a Punisher War Machine figure, or a War Machine Punisher figure, I should say.
Right. That'd be dope.
It is. It's really cool. What's next? Yo Mama's Llama says, totally get keeping each day topical. My point is, why keep the pretense of topics being based on emails? Just have that portion of the show be current events. But they are based on emails.
Wait, go back. So totally, my point is, why keep the pretense of topics be okay? Well, it's not a pretense. They actually are from you guys. I mean, a lot of you guys have been like, cool, my email was sent today. It's just a way of having fan engagement.
Yes.
So yes, there are times when there is no email. So especially like the off the tops, we're just picking them right before the show starts.
Yeah, we try and get the most topical. Those are the things that drop that day.
Yeah,
usually.
and sometimes John does want to cover something that there was no email for. But if there is, that's John's way of engaging, just like we're engaging with you guys through Super Chats, by driving the narrative of that day's show.
Right.
There are still topics we want to cover, but they're from your guys' perspective. So it's purely just to engage with you guys.
But it's also, I mean, we might want great minds think alike. So usually you guys have seen a topic that's really interesting that we would love to cover, and if we didn't get an email about it, we might cover it anyway. But the fact that somebody sends in an email, and we might get 10 emails about the same topic, and John will pick the first one that comes in, or the best one that comes in, the best email. But like you said, it is fan engagement, and that kind of, I mean, it makes it fun for us. I like to hear from our readers and say, oh, what is it they want us to, or viewers. I like to see what they want us to cover.
Right.
Alan Gonzalez says Chapek was fired because he hired Ezra Miller to play Iron Man. Also, Bob Iger is back and Marvel is good again. Well, Alan, I didn't hear that about Ezra Miller playing Iron Man, but I'm glad Bob Iger's back.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Well, and also we still have to keep it within like relative, like a level of expectation, because the slate of Marvel is still set.
Right.
But now on some of these films down the road that haven't started production yet, maybe Feige has more of a say again. He doesn't have to deal with banker middlemen. So
Yeah.
we may see that come out, right?
That's true.
But at first, let's not all of a sudden be like, every movie now coming out now, it's saved because Iger's in charge. Like, don't expect that much. I mean,
Agreed.
yeah.
Agreed. Tiffany Hoffman sends in a super chat and says, what do you like to eat at the movie theater? What about you, Jonathan? What do you like to eat at the movie theater?
Man, you know what? Honestly, I just like popcorn.
Yeah, me too.
It kind of bums me out when someone gets a hot dog because I don't want to. Like, I love hot dogs, but I don't want to smell a hot dog when I'm in a theater.
Yeah, me too.
And then they're burping and it's just gross, but I love eating popcorn.
Popcorn, and I have to tell you, I do like the salty and sweet, so I like to have popcorn and like peanut M&Ms.
Okay.
Or like to have that. Or sometimes, and I learned this from other people, you get popcorn and you dump M&Ms in the popcorn.
Oh, I've heard people do that with the, what is the one with, like, it's chocolate with caramel? Not Whoppers.
Sugar Babies or something?
Sugar babies.
Remember Sugar Babies?
Yeah, but it's not Sugar Babies. It's do you know, Taylor? What are the bot? Like, every AMC sells them.
I'm just laughing because it said sugar babies. I don't know.
He was just thinking of his Sugar Baby.
No, sure, yeah. Sugar Babies are caramel outside with hard outside with caramel inside.
Yeah, but I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, and no one else seems to see it in the chat.
I will say this though, they used to have these apple sausage baguettes at the ArcLight.
Yes, those were awesome.
Awesome.
I love the food at ArcLight. So if we're talking ArcLight,
oh man,
yeah, I would either get those baguettes. But you know what I started doing? I just started getting there early, and I'd go to the restaurant bar, I would order. Yeah,
I love that restaurant had great bolognese. It was awesome,
and the bartenders were great.
The bartenders were great.
I'd walk in with like an old fashioned or some martini into my movie after having like a nice. Yeah,
man, do I miss the?
I hope someone revives it.
I hope so too, because that was the reason to go to Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I miss the ArcLight.
Man, now we're just gonna lament.
I know.
We should probably move on.
Where are we at, Taylor?
All right, so that's it that loaded. There's one that did not load, and they said, can you please explain the difference between Creole and whatever the other one was regarding tomatoes, please and thank you.
No. Well, that was on you. You should have been.
No, that was not really a super chat. I just wanted to have a reason to do this.
Taylor having a moment. Ha ha. Wonderful. The only reason we keep him around is because if I'm here, who's going to do that?
That's true. That's right.
This is great for the audio portion.
Dead space. Yes.
Uh-oh.
I thought we're waiting for you, Taylor. Do you have more?
No, that was it. It was just a joke about tomatoes because we enlightened so many people about it.
What did we learn from this show? You are the what?
I am the Maverick of multimedia.
The Maverick of multimedia. So I was joined today, the Viceroy of Verisimilitude, Robert Meyer Burnett, was joined by
Maverick of multimedia.
Jonathan Voico, the Maverick of multimedia. So you guys doing fan art, get on that and send it to us. I want to thank everybody for generously supporting the channel via super chats, because you give us something great to talk about and you support this channel while you're doing it. I want to thank our sponsor of today's episode, Taylor, who was our sponsor.
It was MeUndies.
It was MeUndies. Okay, I just want to make sure you knew that. Of course, I want to thank Jonathan. I want to thank Taylor for producing the show today. And of course, I am Robert Meyer Burnett. Where can people find you, Jonathan?
Well, you can still find me on Twitter, although I don't log in much because, and it's not even like this whole like, oh, well, I'm leaving Twitter thing. I just find it like every time I go on, I just get, it's just very negative. It's a negative space. So you can find my account there and follow it. I just don't tune in much to Twitter anymore because it's too negative. Or Instagram. Instagram's nicer. I like looking at nice art pictures and stuff like that.
I like Instagram too.
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram at RM Burnett. Find me on Twitter at Burnett RM, or find me on my own YouTube channel, The Burnett Work. Taylor, where can people find you?
Ooh, people can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and my new YouTube channel, 50 Shades of Tay with 3 Ys.
Nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gentle beings, kind souls, however you identify across these, the 28 known galaxies, it's time to sign off this episode of The Open Mic. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you on the John Campea Show tomorrow morning.